mammals possess the placenta. A human placenta is discoid because of its shape. Hemicorial, because of direct contact of the chorion with the maternal blood, and deciduate, because some maternal tissue is shed at parturition. A placenta is attached to the uterine wall and establishes connection between the mother and fetus through the umbilical cord. A fact that maternal and fetal tissues come in direct contact without rejection suggests immunological acceptance of the fetal graft by the mother. Development. A placenta is developed from two sources. A principal component is fetal, which develops from the chorion frondosum, and the maternal component consists of decidua basalis. When the interstitial implantation is completed on 11th day, the blastocyst is surrounded on all sides by lacunar spaces around cords of syncytial cells, called trabeculae. From the trabeculae develops the stem villi. On 13th day, which connect the chorionic plate with the basal plate. Primary, secondary and tertiary villi are successively developed from the stem villi. Arteriocapillary venous system in the mesenchymal core of each villus is completed on 21st day. Is ultimately makes connection with the intraembryonic vascular system through the body stalk, see Fig. 2.9. Simultaneously, lacunar spaces become convent with one another and by 3rd-4th week, form a multilocular receptacle lined by syncytium and ulled with maternal blood. A space becomes the future intervillus space. As the growth of the embryo proceeds, decidua capsularis becomes thinner beginning at 6th week. A villi and the lacunar spaces in the decidua capsularis get obliterated, converting the chorion into chorion leaf. Is, however, compensated by a. Exuberant growth and proliferation of the decidua basalis, and b. Enormous and exuberant division and subdivision of the chorionic villi in the embryonic pole, chorion frondosum. Essay 2. I. Chorion frondosum and the decidua basalis form the discrete placenta. It begins at 6th week and is completed by 12th week, Figs 3.1a to c. 3. Placenta and fetal membranes. Placenta play button development, play button placenta at term, play button structures. Placental circulation, placental aging, placental function, fetal membranes. Amniotic cavity and amnion, amniotic fluid, umbilical cord. Chapter outline. ABC. Figs 3.1a to c. Relation of the amniotic cavity, chorionic cavity and uterine cavity of successive stages, A. End of the 8th week. B. 10 weeks after the last period. C. End of the 12th week. 26 Textbook of Obstetrics. Until the end of the 16th week, the placenta grows both in thickness and circumference due to growth of the chorionic villi with accompanying expansion of the intervillus space. Subsequently, there is little increase in thickness, but it increases circumferentially till term. A human hemicorial placenta derived its name from hema, blood, that is in contact with the syncytiotrophoblasts of chorionic tissue, see Fig. 3.4. Placenta at term. Gross anatomy. A placenta, at term, is almost a circular disc with a diameter of 15-20 cm and thickness of about 3 cm at its center. It thins over toward the edge. It feels spongy and weighs about 500 grams, the proportion to the weight of the baby being roughly 1/6 at term, and occupies about 30% of the uterine wall. It presents two surfaces, fetal and maternal, and a peripheral margin. Fetal surface. A fetal surface, chorionic plate, covered by the smooth and glistening amnion with the umbilical cord attached at or near its center. Branches of the umbilical vessels are visible beneath the amnion as they radiate from the insertion of the cord, Fig. 3.2. A amnion can be peeled off from the underlying chorion except at the insertion of the cord. At term, about 4 ftHs of the placenta is of fetal origin. Maternal surface. A maternal surface, basal plate, is rough and spongy, Fig. 3.3. Maternal blood gives it a dull red color. A thin grayish, somewhat shaggy layer, which is the remnant of the decidua basalis, compact and spongy layer, and has come away with the placenta, may be visible. A maternal surface is mapped out into 15 to 20 somewhat convex polygonal areas known as lobes or cotyledons, which are limited by shears. Each shear is occupied by the decidual septum, which is derived from the basal plate. Numerous small grayish spots are visible. Essays are due to deposition of calcium in the degenerated areas and are of no clinical significance. A maternal portion of the placenta amounts to less than 1 FTH of the total placenta. Only the decidua basalis and the blood in the intervillous space are of maternal origin. Margin. Peripheral margin of the placenta is limited by the fused basal and chorionic plates and is continuous with the chorion leaf and amnion. Essentially, the chorion and the placenta are one structure, but the placenta is a specialized part of the chorion. Attachment. A placenta is usually attached to the upper part of the body of the uterus, encroaching to the fundus adjacent to the anterior or posterior wall with equal frequency. A attachment to the uterine wall is ejective due to anchoring villi connecting the chorionic plate with the basal plate, and also by the fused decidua capsularis and vera with the chorion leaf at the margin. Separation. Placenta separates after the birth of the baby, and the line of separation is through the decidua spongiosum. Structures. A placenta consists of two plates. A chorionic plate lies internally. It is lined by the amniotic membrane. A umbilical cord is attached to this plate. A basal plate lies to the maternal aspect. Between the two plates lies the intervillous space containing the stem villi with their branches, the space being filled with maternal blood. Figs 3.4a and b. Fig. 3.2. Fetal surface of the placenta showing attachment of the umbilical cord with ramification of the umbilical vessels. Fig. 3.3. Maternal surface of the placenta showing shaggy look with cotyledons limited by shears. Chapter 3, Placenta and Fetal Membranes 27. Amniotic membrane. It consists of single layer of cubical epithelium loosely attached to the adjacent chorionic plate. It takes no part in formation of the placenta. Chorionic plate. From within outward, it consists of I. Primitive mesenchymal tissue containing branches of umbilical vessels, E. A layer of cytotrophoblast, and E. Syncytiotrophoblast. A. Stem villi arise from the plate. It forms the inner boundary of the choriodecidual space. Basal plate. It consists of the following structures from outside inwards. 1. Part of the compact and spongy layer of the decidua basalis. 2. Nittibuches layer of brinoid degeneration of the outer syncytiotrophoblast at the junction of the cytotrophoblastic shell and decidua. 3. Cytotrophoblastic shell. 4. Syncytiotrophoblast. Figs 3.4 and 3.5. A basal plate is perforated by the spiral branches of the uterine vessels through which the maternal blood goes into the intervillous space. At places, placental or decidual septa project from the basal plate into the intervillous space but fail to reach the chorionic plate. A septum consists of decidual elements covered by trophoblastic cells. A areas between the septa are known as cotyledons, lobes, which are observed from the maternal surface, numbering 15 to 20. Intervillous space. It is bounded on the inner side by the chorionic plate and the outer side by the basal plate, limited on the periphery by the fusion of the two plates. It is lined internally on all sides by the syncytiotrophoblast and is filled with slow-flowing maternal blood. Numerous branching villi which arise from the stem villi project into the space and constitute chief content of the intervillous space. Figs 3.4a and 3.5. Stem villi. Essays arise from the chorionic plate and extend to the basal plate. With the progress of development, primary, secondary and tertiary villi are formed. Figs 3.6a to c. Functional unit of the placenta is called a fetal cotyledon or placentum, which is derived from a major primary stem villus. A major stem villi pass down through the intervillous space to anchor onto the basal plate. Fig. 3.5. Functional subunit is called a lobule, which is derived from a tertiary stem villi. About 60 stem villi persist in human placenta. As each cotyledon, total 15 to 29, contains 3 to 4 major stem villi. A villi are the functional unit of the placenta. A total villi surface, for exchange, approximately A. B. Figs 3.4a and b. Schematic view of A. Structure of placenta at term. B. Structure of the membranes in relation to Decidua 28 Textbook of Obstetrics. Fig. 3.5. Schematic diagram of stem villi, showing connection of the chorionic plate with the basal plate. Varies between 10 square meters and 14 square meters. A fetal capillary system within the villi is almost 50 kilometers long. As while some of the villi are anchoring the placenta to the decidua, the majority are free within the intervillous space and are called nutritive villi. Blood vessels within the branching villi do not anastomose with the neighboring one. Structure of a terminal villus. In the early placenta, each terminal villus has got the following structures from outside inward. 1. Outer syncytiotrophoblast. 2. Cytotrophoblast. 3. Basement membrane. 4. Central stroma containing fetal capillaries, primitive mesenchymal cells, connective tissue and a few phagocytic, Hofbauer, cells. In placenta at term, syncytiotrophoblast becomes relatively thin at places overlying the fetal capillaries and thicker at other areas containing extensive endoplasmic reticulum. A former is probably the site for transfer and the latter, the site for synthesis. A cytotrophoblast is relatively sparse. Basement membrane becomes thicker. Stroma contains dilated vessels along with all the constituents and few Hofbauer cells. Hofbauer cells are round cells that are capable of phagocytosis and can trap maternal antibodies crossing through the placenta, immunosuppressive. SA cells can express class II major histocompatibility complex, MHC, molecules. Placental circulation. Placental circulation consists of independent circulation of blood in two systems. 1. Utroplacental circulation. 2. Fetoplacental circulation. Utroplacental circulation, maternal circulation, it is concerned with the circulation of the maternal blood through the intervillous space. A mature placenta has a volume of about 500 milliliters of blood. 350 milliliters being occupied in the villi system and 150 milliliters lying in the intervillous space. As the intervillous blood at term is estimated to be 500 to 600 milliliter per minute, the blood in the intervillous space is completely replaced about 3 to 4 times per minute. A villi depend on the maternal blood for their nutrition, thus it is possible for the chorionic villi to survive for a varying period even after the fetus is dead. A pressure within the intervillous space is about 10-15 mm Hg during uterine relaxation and 30-50 mm Hg during uterine contraction. In contrast, the fetal capillary pressure in the villi is 20 to 40 mmHg. Arterial circulation. About 120 to 200 spiral arteries open into the intervillous space by piercing the basal plate randomly at numerous sites. Normally, there is cytotrophoblastic invasion into the spiral arteries initially up to the intradecidual portion within 12 weeks of pregnancy. Not only the endothelial lining is replaced but also the musculoelastic media is destroyed and replaced by brinoid material. There is a secondary invasion of trophoblast between 12 and 16 weeks extending up to radial arteries within the myometrium. As spiral arteries are converted to large per utroplacental arteries. A net EECT is funneling of the arteries which reduces the pressure of the blood to 70-80 mm Hg before it reaches the intervillous space. It thus increases the blood O. Trophoblast cells that do not take part in villus structure are known as extravillus trophoblast, EVT. EVT are of two types. I. Endovascular that migrates down the lumen of the spiral arteries and replaces the endothelium, Fig. 3.7, and E. Interstitial that invades as far as the inner third of the myometrium. Further invasion is limited by the NK cells to prevent morbid adhesion of placenta accreta. Defects in trophoblast invasion and failure to establish maternal circulation correctly leads to complications of pregnancy, PIH, IUGR. B. C. A. Figs 3.6a to C. Schematic diagram to show the development of the villus, A. Primary. B. Secondary. C. Tertiary. Chapter 3, Placenta and Fetal Membranes 29. Fig. 3.7. Spiral arterioles at the placental site in normal and pre-eclamptic pregnancies. Fig. 3.8. An intervillous space showing intervillous circulation. Venous drainage. A venous blood of the intervillous space drains through the uterine veins which pierce the basal plate randomly like the arteries. His concept of utroplacental circulation is based on the studies of Ramsey and co-workers, 1963-1966. Intervillous hemodynamics is mentioned in Table 3.1. Circulation in the intervillous space. A. Arterial blood enters the space under pressure. Fig. 3.8. Lateral dispersion occurs after it reaches the chorionic plate. Willi help in mixing and slowing of the blood. O. Mild stirring EECT by the Willi pulsation aided by OOT in contraction help migration of the blood toward the basal plate and thence to the uterine veins. Sometimes syncytial sprouts are set free in the intravenous circulation and are carried through the maternal circulation to the lungs where they disappear by lysis. About 100,000 syncytial sprouts circulate in maternal blood in 24 hours. Table 3.1. Summary of intervillous hemodynamics. Volume of blood in mature placenta 500 milliliters. Volume of blood in intervillous space 150 milliliters. Blood O in intervillous space 500 to 600 milliliter per minute. Pressure in intervillous space. During uterine contraction. During uterine relaxation. 30 to 50 mmHg, 10 to 15 mmHg. Pressure in the supplying uterine artery 70-80 mm Hg. Pressure in the draining uterine vein 8 mm Hg. 30 Textbook of Obstetrics. Table 3.2. Summary of fetal hemodynamics. Fetal blood O through the placenta. 400 milliliters per minute. Pressure in the umbilical artery. 60 mm Hg. Pressure in the umbilical vein. 10 mm Hg. Fetal capillary pressure in Willi. 20 to 40 mmHg. Umbilical artery. Umbilical vein. O2 saturation 50 to 60%, 70 to 80%. O2, 2O, 25 mmHg, 30 to 40 mmHg. Fig. 3.10. Schematic diagram showing layers of placental barrier. Fig. 3.9. Schematic diagram showing terminal capillary networks in the Willi. Short circuit of the arterial blood into the neighboring venous channels is prevented by the increased pressure of the endometrial arteries driving the blood in jets towards the chorionic plate. During uterine contraction, the veins are occluded but the arterial blood is forced into the intervillous space. While uterine relaxation facilitates venous drainage, is brought about by the fact that the spiral arteries are perpendicular and the veins are parallel to the uterine wall. As during contraction, larger volume of blood is available for exchange even though the rate of O is decreased. A. Blood in the intervillous space is protected from clotting by some brinolytic enzyme activity of the trophoblast. Fetoplacental circulation. A2 umbilical arteries carry the impure blood from the fetus. Enter the chorionic plate underneath the amnion, each supplying one half of the placenta. A. Arteries break up into small branches which enter the stems of the chorionic villi. Each in turn divides into primary, secondary and tertiary vessels of the corresponding villi. A. Blood goes into the corresponding venous channels either through the terminal capillary networks or through the shunts. Fig. 3.9. Maternal and fetal blood streams go side by side, but in opposite direction. Is countercurrent O facilitates material exchange between the mother and fetus. A. Villus capillary pressure varies from 20 to 40 mm Hg. A. Fetal blood O through the placenta is about 400 milliliters per minute. Is mainly facilitated by the pumping action of the fetal heart. Table 3.2. Placental barrier, placental membrane, it is a partition between fetal and maternal circulation. However, this barrier is not a perfect barrier as fetal blood cells are found in maternal circulation, so also the maternal blood cells are found in fetal circulation. A. Above two are separated by tissues called placental membrane or barrier, consisting of the following. In early pregnancy, it consists of 1. Syncytiotrophoblast, 2. Cytotrophoblast, 3. Basement membrane, 4. Stromal tissue, and 5. Endothelium of the fetal capillary wall with its basement membrane. It is about 0.025 mm thick. Fig. 3.10. Near term, there is attenuation of the syncytial layer. Sparse cytotrophoblast and distended fetal capillaries almost all the villus. A. Specialized zones of the villi where the syncytiotrophoblast is thin and anuclear is known as vasculosyncytial membrane. Figs 3.11 A and B. A. Thin zones, 0.002 mm, of terminal villi alpha zones of a gas exchange. A. Thick, beta zones. Chapter 3, Placenta and Fetal Membranes 31. Nittabuch's layer. Is layer limits further invasion of the decidua by the trophoblast. A membrane is absent in placenta accreta. Intervillous space. A syncytium covering the villi and extending into the decidua of intervillous space undergoes brinoid degeneration and form a mass entangling variable number of villi. Essae are called white infarcts which vary in size from few millimeters to a centimeter or more. Calcification or even cyst formation may occur on it. Such type of degeneration is usually near the placental margin. There may be inconsistent deposition of brin called rose striae at the bottom of the intervillous space and surrounding the fastening villi. Placental function. A main functions of the placenta are, Table 3.3, T transfer of nutrients and waste products between the mother and fetus. In this respect, it attributes to the following functions: respiratory, excretory, nutritive T endocrine function. Placenta is an endocrine gland. It produces both steroid and peptide hormones to maintain pregnancy. P. 52. T barrier function. T immunological function. AB. Figs 3.11 A and B. Schematic diagram showing transverse section of a villus in A. Early month. B. Near term. Of the terminal villi with the layers remaining thick in patches of for hormone synthesis. An increase in thickness of the villus membrane is seen in cases with IUGR and cigarette smokers. Placental aging. As the placenta has got a limited lifespan, it is likely to undergo degenerative changes as a mark of senescence. A aging process varies in degree and should be differentiated from the morbid process likely to ACT the organ in some pathological states. A aging process involves both the fetal and maternal components. Villi changes. A following changes are observed as pregnancy advances toward term, Figs 3.11 A and B. 1. Decreasing thickness of the syncytium and appearances of syncytial knots, aggregation of the syncytium in small areas on the sides of the villus. 2. Partial disappearance of trophoblast cells. 3. Decrease in the stromal tissue including Hofbauer cells, fetal macrophages. 4. Obliteration of some vessels and marked dilatation of the capillaries. 5. Thickening of the basement layer of the fetal endothelium and the cytotrophoblast. 6. Deposition of brin on the surface of the villi. Decidual changes. There is an area of brinoid degeneration where trophoblast cells, covered with syncytium, meet the decidua. This zone is known as Table 3.3. Factors for placental transfer from mother to fetus. A. Substance properties. Molecular weight. Lower the molecular weight, more is the transfer. Lipid solubility. Lipophilic substances diffuse readily. Ionization. Non-ionized form crosses lipid membrane freely. pH of blood. Lower pH favors ionization of many drugs. Protein binding. Spatial congruation. B. Maternal properties. T drug concentration in the maternal blood. T uterine blood or T concentration gradient on either side of placental membranes. C. Placental properties. T lipid membrane of placenta enhances transfer. T total surface area of placental membrane. T functional integrity and thickness of placental barrier. P. 32 Textbook of Obstetrics. Mechanisms involved in the transfer of substances across the placenta are, based on concentration gradient, O2, CO2, 1, bulk O and solvent drag. Bulk O of water along with dissolved solutes, water, dissolved electrolytes, occur through diuresis in hydrostatic and osmotic pressure in the placental barrier. 2. Simple diffusion, based on concentration gradient and or electrical gradient, O2, CO2. 3. Facilitated diffusion, transporter-mediated, using transporter proteins in syncytiotrophoblast, glucose, amino acids. 4. Active transfer, against concentration gradient, energy at pace mediated, amino acids, large icons. 5. Endocytosis, pinocytosis, invagination of the cell membrane to form an intracellular vesicle, pinocytosis, which contains the extracellular molecules, proteins, immunoglobulins. 6. Exocytosis, release of the molecule from within vesicle to the extracellular space. Immunoglobulin G, egg, is taken up by endocytosis from maternal circulation and is transferred to the fetus via exocytosis. 7. Leakage, break in the placental membranes maternal or fetal red blood cells. Respiratory function. Although the fetal respiratory movements are observed as early as 11 weeks, there is no gaseous exchange. Intake of oxygen and output of carbon dioxide take place by simple diffusion across the fetal membrane. Partial pressure gradient is the driving force for exchange between the maternal and fetal circulations. Oxygen supply to the fetus is at the rate of 8 milliliters per kilogram per minute, and this is achieved with cord blood O of 165 to 330 milliliter per minute. Excretory function. Waste products from the fetus such as urea, uric acid, and creatinine are excreted in the maternal blood by simple diffusion. Nutritive function. A fetus obtains its nutrients from the maternal blood, and when the diet is inadequate, then only depletion of maternal tissue storage occurs. Glucose, which is the principal source of energy, is transferred to the fetus by facilitated diffusion. Air transporter proteins, GLUT1, for facilitated diffusion. GLUT1 is located in syncytial trophoblast. Glucose transfer from mother to fetus is not linear. Transfer rates decrease as maternal glucose concentration increases. Fetal glucose level is lower than that of the mother, indicating rapid rate of fetal utilization of glucose. Lipids for fetal growth and development are transferred across the fetal membrane or synthesized in the fetus. Triglycerides and fatty acids are directly transported from the mother to the fetus in early pregnancy, but probably are synthesized in the fetus later in pregnancy. Essential fatty acids are transferred more than the non-essential fatty acids. Cholesterol is capable of direct transfer. As fetal fat has got a dual origin. Amino acids are transferred by active transport, energy requiring transport, through enzymatic mechanism, at pace. Amino acid concentration is higher in the fetal blood than in the maternal blood. Some proteins, cross by the process of endocytosis. Fetal proteins are synthesized from the transferred amino acids, and the level is lower than in mother. Water and electrolytes such as sodium, potassium and chloride cross through the fetal membrane by simple diffusion, whereas calcium, phosphorus and iron cross by active transport, active transporter proteins, against a concentration gradient, since their levels are higher in fetal than in maternal blood. Water-soluble vitamins are transferred by active transport, but the fat-soluble vitamins are transferred slowly so that the latter remains at a low level in fetal blood. Hormones, insulin, steroids from the adrenals, thyroid, chorionic gonadotropin or placental lactogen cross the placenta at a very slow rate, so that their concentration in fetal plasma are appreciably lower than in maternal plasma. Neither parathormone nor calcitonin crosses the placenta. Enzymatic function. Numerous enzymes are elaborated in the placenta. Mentioning only few of them are 1. Diamine oxidase, which inactivates the circulatory pressure, or pressor, amines. 2. Oxytokinase, which neutralizes the oxytocin. 3. Phospholipase A2, which synthesizes arachidonic acid, etc. Placental endocrinology is discussed in Chapter 6b. 53. Barrier function. Fetal membrane has long been considered as a protective barrier to the fetus against noxious agents circulating in the maternal blood. In general, substances of high molecular weight of more than 500 daltons are held up, but there are exceptions. Antibody and antigens in immunological quantities can traverse across the placental barrier in both directions. A transfer of the larger molecule is probably facilitated by pinocytosis. A rate of drug transfer is increased in late pregnancy. Maternal infections during pregnancy by virus, rubella, chickenpox, measles, mumps, poliomyelitis, bacteria, Treponema pallidum, tubercle bacillus, or protozoa, Toxoplasma gondii, malaria parasites, may be transmitted to the fetus across the so-called placental barrier and AECT the fetus in utero. Similarly, almost any drug used in pregnancy can cross the placental barrier and may have deleterious EECT on the fetus. Immunological function. For details, see p. 160. 590. A fetus and the placenta contain paternally determined antigens, which are foreign to the mother. In spite of this, there is no evidence of graft rejection. Placenta probably offers immunological protection against rejection. The exact mechanism is yet speculative, but the interest is centered on the following. Chapter 3, Placenta and Fetal Membranes 33. T. Placental hormones. proteins, SP1, early pregnancy factor, EPF, PAP-A, steroids and chorionic gonadotropin have got some immunosuppressive EECT. T. Willis trophoblasts, see Fig. 3.5, do not express HLA class 1 or class 2 molecules. Extravilus trophoblast, Fig. 3.7, only express HLA class 1 molecules and no HLA class 2 molecules, CP. 21. T-AU anti-HLA antibodies and sensitized T cells against paternal antigens have been detected in the maternal serum. They have no significant effects on pregnancy. T-AIR is a shift of maternal response from cell-mediated T helper 1 to humoral T helper 2 immunity, which may be beneficial to pregnancy. CP. 590. T decidual natural killer NK cells and trophoblast extravilus HLA class 1 molecules interact. A cytokines thus derived will regulate the invasion of extravilus trophoblast cells into the spiral arteries. A spiral arteries are thus converted to low resistance, high conductance uteroplacental arteries. See Fig. 3.7. T. The decidual NK cells and the extravilus interstitial trophoblast cells interact at the trophoblast myometrial junction. Excessive myometrial invasion of trophoblast cells is thus prevented. TA immunological response of implantation and that of organ transplantation are different and not comparable. T syncytial trophoblast has got trophoblast lymphocyte cross-reactive TLX antigen. Consequently, there is production of antibodies, blocking antibodies, by the mother in response to this TLX, due to maternal-paternal immunoincompatibility. SA blocking antibodies protect the fetus from rejection. CP. 160. Fetal membranes. It consists of two layers, outer chorion and the inner amnion. CHORION, it represents the remnant of chorion leaf and ends at the margin of the placenta. It is thicker than amnion, friable and shaggy on both the sides. Internally, it is attached to the amnion by loose areolar tissue and remnant of primitive mesenchyme. Externally, it is covered by vestiges of trophoblastic layer and the decidual cells of the fused decidua capsularis and parietalis, which can be distinguished microscopically. See Fig. 3.4b. Error for human placenta is a discoid, deciduate, labyrinthine and hemicorial type P. 26. AMNION, it is the inner layer of the fetal membranes. Its internal surface is smooth and shiny and is in contact with liquor amni. A lining epithelium is described later in this chapter. A outer surface consists of a layer of connective tissue and is opposed to the similar tissue on the inner aspect of the chorion from which it can be peeled off. A amnion can also be peeled off from the fetal surface of the placenta except at the insertion of the umbilical cord. Functions. 1. Contribute to the formation of liquor amni. 2. Intact membranes prevent ascending uterine infection. 3. Facilitate dilatation of the cervix during labor. 4. Has got enzymatic activities for steroid hormonal metabolism. 5. Rich source of glycerophospholipids containing arachidonic acid, precursor of prostaglandin E2 and F2 alpha. Amniotic cavity in AMNION. Development. A formation of the amniotic cavity and its lining membrane, amnion, has already been described with the development of the inner cell mass. Fluid accumulates slowly at RST, but ultimately the uideal cavity becomes large enough to obliterate the chorionic cavity. The amnion and the chorion come in loose contact by their mesenchymal layers. Box 3.1. Initially, the cavity is located on the dorsal surface of the embryonic disc. With the formation of the head, tail and lateral folds, it comes to surround the fetus in a manner as described in Figure 2.9. Its two growing margins nally merge into the body stalk. As the liquor amni surrounds the fetus everywhere except at its attachment with the body stalk. A amnion is RMLY attached to the umbilical cord up to its point of insertion to the placenta, but everywhere it can be separated from the underlying chorion. Structure of AMNION. Fully formed amnion is 0.02 - 0.5 mm in thickness and from within outwards the layers are 1. Single layer of cuboidal epithelium, 2. Basement membranes, 3. Compact layer of reticular structure, 4. Globlastic layer and 5. Spongy layer. A amnion has got neither blood nor nerve supply nor any lymphatic system. Box 3.1. Production and removal of amniotic fluid. Production removal. Transudation of maternal serum across the placental membranes. Transudation from fetal circulation across the umbilical cord or placental membranes. Secretion from amniotic epithelium. Transudation of fetal plasma through the highly permeable fetal skin before it is keratinized at 20th week. Fetal urine. Daily output at term is about 400-1200 milliliters. Fetal lung that enters the amniotic cavity add to its volume. T. Fetus swallows about 500-1000 milliliters of liquor every day. T. Intramembranous absorption of water and solutes, 200 to 500 milliliter per day, from the amniotic compartment to fetal circulation through the fetal surface of the placenta. 34 Textbook of Obstetrics. Flowchart 3.1. The source and circulation of amniotic fluid. Amniotic fluid. Origin of amniotic fluid. A precise origin of the liquor amni is still not well understood. It is probably of mixed maternal and fetal origin. Circulation. A water in the amniotic UID is completely changed and replaced in every 3 hours as shown by the clearance of radioactive sodium injected directly into the amniotic cavity. A presence of lanugo and epithelial scales in the meconium shows that the UID is swallowed by the fetus and some of it passes from the gut into the fetal plasma. Flowchart 3.1. Volume. Amniotic UID volume is related to gestational age. It measures about 50 milliliters at 12 weeks, 400 milliliters at 20 weeks and reaches its peak of 1 liter at 36 to 38 weeks. Hereafter the amount diminishes. Till at term it measures about 600 to 800 milliliter. As the pregnancy continues post-term, further reduction occurs to the extent of about 200 milliliters at 43 weeks. Physical features. AUID is faintly alkaline with low specific gravity of 1.010. It becomes highly hypertonic to maternal serum at term pregnancy. An osmolarity of 250 mosmol, L is suggestive of fetal maturity. A. Amniotic fluid's osmolality falls with advancing gestation. Color. In early pregnancy it is colorless, but near term it becomes pale straw-colored due to the presence of exfoliated lanugo and epidermal cells from the fetal skin. It may look turbid due to the presence of vernix gaseosa. Abnormal color. Deviation of the normal color of the liquor has got clinical significance. T. Meconium stained, green, is suggestive of fetal distress in presentations other than the breech or transverse. Depending upon the degree and duration of the distress, it may be thin or thick or pea soup, thick with ACAs. Ick with presence of ACAs suggests chronic fetal distress. T. Golden color in Rh incompatibility is due to excessive hemolysis of the fetal RBC and production of excess bilirubin. T. Greenish yellow, serin, in post-maturity. T. Dark colored in concealed accidental hemorrhage is due to contamination of blood. T. Dark brown, tobacco juice, amniotic UID is found in IUD. A. Dark color is due to frequent presence of old HbA. Composition. In the RST half of pregnancy, the composition of the UID is almost identical to a transudate of plasma. But in late pregnancy, the composition is very much altered mainly due to contamination of fetal urinary metabolites. A composition includes 1. Water 98 to 99% and 2. Solid 1-2%. A. Following are the solid constituents. A. Organic. Protein minus 0.3 mg%, NPN minus 30 mg%, total lipids minus 50 mg%, glucose minus 20 mg%, uric acid 4 mg%, hormones, prolactin, insulin and renin. Urea minus 30 mg%, creatinine minus 2 mg%. B. Inorganic. A concentration of the sodium, chloride and potassium is almost the same as that found in maternal blood. As pregnancy advances, there may be slight fall in the sodium and chloride concentration probably due to dilution by hypertonic fetal urine, whereas the potassium concentration remains unaltered. C. Suspended particles include lanugo, exfoliated squamous epithelial cells from the fetal skin, vernix gaseosa, cast O amniotic cells and cells from the respiratory tract, urinary bladder and vagina of the fetus. Function. Its main function is to protect the fetus. During pregnancy, 1. It acts as a shock absorber, protecting the fetus from possible extraneous injury. 2. Maintains an even temperature. 3. AUID distends the amniotic sac and thereby allows for growth and free. Chapter 3. Placenta and fetal membranes. 35. Movement of the fetus and prevents adhesion between the fetal parts and amniotic sac. 4. Its nutritive value is negligible because of small amount of protein and salt content. However, water supply to the fetus is quite adequate. During labor, 1. Amnion and chorion are combined to form a hydrostatic wedge which helps in dilatation of the cervix. 2. During uterine contraction, it prevents marked interference with the placental circulation so long as the membranes remain intact. 3. It guards against umbilical cord compression. 4. It pushes the birth canal at the end of RST stage of labor and by its aseptic and bactericidal action protects the fetus and prevents ascending infection to the uterine cavity. Clinical importance. 1. Study of the amniotic UID provides useful information about the well-being and also maturity of the fetus. 2. Intra-amniotic installation of chemicals is used as method of induction of abortion. 3. Excess or less volume of liquor (amni) is assessed by amniotic UID index, AFI, Fig. 3.12 p. 201, 433. Maternal abdomen is divided into quadrants taking the umbilicus, symphysis pubis and the fundus as the reference points. With ultrasound, the largest vertical pocket in each quadrant is measured. A sum of the four measurements, cm, is the AFI. It is measured to diagnose the clinical condition of polyhydramnios or oligohydramnios respectively. 4. Rupture of the membranes with drainage of liquor is a helpful method in induction of labor. P. 487. Umbilical cord. A umbilical cord or funis forms the connecting link between the fetus and the placenta through which the fetal blood goes to and from the placenta. It extends from the fetal umbilicus to the fetal surface of the placenta. Development. A umbilical cord is developed from the connective stalk or body stalk, which is a band of mesoblastic tissue stretching between the embryonic disc and the chorion. Initially, it is attached to the caudal end of the embryonic disc, but as a result of cephalocaudal folding of the embryo and simultaneous enlargement of the amniotic cavity, the amnioectodermal junction converges on the ventral aspect of the fetus. As the amniotic cavity enlarges out of proportion to the embryo and becomes distended with UID, the embryo is carried more and more into the amniotic cavity with simultaneous elongation of the connective stalk, the future umbilical cord. Structures. A constituents of the umbilical cord when fully formed are as follows, Figs 3.13a and b. 1. Covering epithelium. It is lined by a single layer of amniotic epithelium but shows stratification like that of fetal epidermis at term. 2. Wharton's jelly. It consists of elongated cells in a gelatinous fluid formed by mucoid degeneration of the extraembryonic mesodermal cells. It is rich in mucopolysaccharides and has got protective function to the umbilical vessels. 3. Blood vessels. Initially, there are 4 vessels, 2 arteries and 2 veins. A. Arteries are derived from the internal iliac arteries of the fetus and carry the venous blood from the fetus to the placenta. Of the 2 umbilical veins, the right one disappears by the 4th month, leaving behind one vein which carries oxygenated blood from the placenta to the fetus. Presence of a single umbilical artery is often associated with fetal congenital abnormalities. P. 206. A.B. Figs 3.13a and b. Schematic drawing of the primitive umbilical cord of A. 10-week embryo. B. Cross-section of a term umbilical cord. Fig. 3.12. Amniotic UID volume is measured to determine a Phi 36 textbook of obstetrics. H. Human placenta is a discoid, disc-shaped, deciduate, covered externally by decidual cells, labyrinthine, hugely branched villus tree, and hemachorial. Maternal and fetal blood are separated by the chorionic tissue type. HA placenta at term has a diameter of 15-20 cm with 2 surfaces. Fetal surface appears smooth and glistening as it is covered with amnion. A maternal surface is rough, shaggy and is marked by cotyledons. H. intervillus space, IVS, is bounded internally by the chorionic plate and externally by the basal plate. A space is lined by syncytiotrophoblasts. IVS is ulled with maternal blood, Figs 3.4 and 3.5. H. Decidual septa are the projections from the basal plate within the IVS. A. Areas between the septa are called cotyledons, Figs 3.4a and 3.8. H. Placental circulation includes a. Utroplacental, maternal blood reaching the IVS through the spiral arterioles, and b. Fetoplacental. Following exchange, oxygenated blood is carried away by the umbilical vein. A. Blood O in the IVS is 500 to 600 ml per minute. Table 3.1. H. Placental barrier consists of the following layers: a. Syncytiotrophoblasts, b. Cytotrophoblasts, c. Basement membrane, d. Stromal tissue, and a. Endothelium of fetal capillaries, Figs 3.10 and 3.11a and b. It is about 0.025 mm thick, and at term it is thinned out to 0.002 mm. H. Trophoblast proliferation, invasion and placental angiogenesis are dependent on oxygen mediation. H. Trophoblast cells, not covering the villus structure, are the extravillus trophoblasts, EVT. EVT are of two types: a. Endovascular and b. Interstitial, Fig. 3.7. H. Failure of invasion of extravascular trophoblasts results in pregnancy complications like preeclampsia, p. 207, and FGR, p. 431. H. Important factors for placental transfer are a. Substrate properties, b. Maternal factors, and c. Placental factors, Table 3.3. H. Any molecule for transfer from maternal to fetal plasma and the vice versa must cross the placental barrier. Basic exchange processes are bulk O and solvent drag, diffusion, transporter-mediated mechanism, GLUT1 for glucose, endocytosis or exocytosis. H. Placental functions are mainly grouped into nutritive, respiratory, excretory, endocrine, protective barrier and immunological, p. 31. H. Human placenta is an important endocrine organ for optimizing maternal physiology and fetal growth. Important hormones produced are estrogen, progesterone, PAP-A, HCG and HPL. H. Amniotic UID is in continuous circulation through amniotic epithelium secretion and fetal urine production and UID absorption by the membranes, amnion and chorion, and by fetal swallowing. It is replaced in every 3 hours. H. Amount of amniotic UID at term is 600 to 800 milliliters and it surrounds the fetus. Functions of amniotic UID in pregnancy and labor are many, p. 34. Amniotic UID index, AFI, is an important parameter for assessment of fetal well-being, p. 99, 204, 433. H. Umbilical cord develops from the body stalk connecting the embryonic disc and the chorion. Umbilical cord measures about 40 centimeters, contains 2 arteries and 1 vein. It is usually inserted to the placenta eccentrically, though other attachments are there, p. 36, 204. Single umbilical artery is associated with fetal congenital malformations, p. 206. 4. Remnant of the umbilical vesicle, yolk sac, and its vitelline duct. Remnant of the yolk sac may be found as a small yellow body near the attachment of the cord to the placenta, or on rare occasion, the proximal part of the duct persists as Meckel's diverticulum. 5. Allantois. A blind tubular structure may be only present near the fetal end which is continuous inside the fetus with its ureter and bladder. 6. Obliterated extraembryonic coelom. In the early period, intraembryonic coelom is continuous with extraembryonic coelom along with herniation of coils of intestine, midgut. A condition may persist as congenital umbilical hernia or exumpelose. Characteristics. It is about 40 centimeters in length with a usual variation of 30 to 100 cm. Its diameter is of average 1.5 centimeters with variation of 1 to 2.5 centimeters. Its thickness is not uniform but presents nodes or swelling at places. Assay swellings, false knots, may be due to kinking of the umbilical vessels or local collection of Wharton's jelly. True knots, 1%, are rare. Long cord may form loop around the neck, 20 to 30%. It shows a spiral twist from the left to right from as early as 12th week due to spiral turn taken by the vessels, vein around the arteries. A. Umbilical arteries do not possess an internal elastic lamina but have got well-developed muscular coat. Is a help in ejective closure of the arteries due to re-spasm soon after the birth of the baby. Both the arteries and the vein do not possess vasa viscorum. Attachment. In the early period, the cord is attached to the ventral surface of the embryo close to the caudal extremity. But as the coelom closes and the yolk sac atrophies, the point of attachment is moved permanently to the center of the abdomen at 4th month. Unlike the fetal attachment, the placental attachment is inconsistent. It usually attaches to the fetal surface of the placenta somewhere between the center and the edge of the placenta, called eccentric insertion. A attachment may be central, marginal, or even on the chorion leaf at a varying distance away from the margin of the placenta, called velamentous insertion. A anomalies and various abnormalities of the umbilical cord are discussed in Chapter 17 p. 200.